And he
film set.
literally fell off the chair by saying how
That's
beautiful you are.
That's what he said. He actually said that, and I don't believe him. But we did pre-production for 2 weeks, and then he came to my room the day before we started shooting, and he's like, I think I'm falling in love with you.
Had you even like spoken about anything? Had you been like, what?
10 days we'd known each other. And then we kissed. I remember he tried to kiss me for a full hour.
Oh, tongue kiss for an hour.
Like tried to. And I just was playing like hard to get. I was like 21, 22.
Yeah, you were young.
So I was like really, and then he kissed me, and I remember I literally had electric shocks through I've never been kissed like that before. He says that his finger was in the socket. I don't think so. And that was it.
Wow.
And then he moved in the day after we finished shooting.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
So you calling home to your parents, they would have been like, she's lost her fucking mind.
No, because I'd never said that about anyone.
Yeah, right.
And I'd had relationships before. And we waited, he was married before me for 10 years and they were separated. And so that was such a messy separation process.
Right.
So we were together for 10 years, but we've only been married for 6 because, you know, there's like it takes a long time to dissolve something.
Right.
So then the minute that was dissolved, then we got married.
You guys got married.
Yeah.
And how did he propose to you?
We were in Israel, and we were at the beach, and we actually lost our bags before we got to Israel. He had the ring, so it was fine, but we lost our clothes, and my parents were there because they knew what was going to happen.
Oh, did they?
And so he had to borrow my dad's clothes.
Oh.
And then he proposed in my dad's clothes, which was really weird. It was like I was marrying my dad. And like smelled like my dad and everything too. And I was like, oh my God, this is so weird. And I just started shaking and crying. And then the first thing I said was, how did you afford that ring?
Oh.
I was like, the ring is like, yeah.
Oh, how gorgeous you got your folks there as well. Yeah. That's so special.
And then we got baptized in the River Jordan where Jesus was baptized in the Bible. We got baptized a couple days later.
Oh, wowza.
Yeah.
And then a little while later, you had a little one. You have a little one, yeah.
And we're going to do it again, probably next month.
Really?
Yeah.
Just you're going to like decide to have sex next month?
23rd of September.
Right. Is that when you're ovulating next?
Yeah. Hi, world. On the 23rd of September, can everyone please like think of good vibes, please?
Oh, that is so funny. But you're the hornbag in your relationship.
Oh, I would have sex every day.
It's just boggles my mind.
Are you not having good sex?
Well, I just I'm too tired. I've got 2 kids.
But I'm tired too, but orgasms feel good.
Yeah, they feel really good. But at the same time,
I mean, how long it doesn't take that long for me. Like, I don't need an hour process.
No, but how do you say to him? Because you're like, I don't want to cuddle.
Well, last night I was such a bitch about it. I was just like, it's 11 o'clock at night. If you want to have sex with me, could we have done it an hour ago? Just because like he gets it in his mind that he wants to have sex like at midnight.
Oh, that's
and I'm
too
like,
late.
it's too late.
Yeah.
It's too late. I have like my sweet spot, like 10:30.
Yeah, right. So 10:30 most nights, because I
like 10:30 till 10:35.
Yeah.
Let's be real, 10:33.
I wonder if you've got more testosterone than normal.
I've always been very sexual, but I've always thought it was very odd that people don't talk about sex a lot, but yet we see people's heads completely chopped off in the news, and we see people blown, like in the States, the horrible thing that happened in Barcelona, on the news stations, you see it all. Like we see such gory stuff, but then no one will talk about things that are like love, which is, we talk about hate and violence, but we don't ever talk about love and sex, and like showing your breasts are like such a big deal. And I'm like, the humor, it's kind
very
of how,
messed up, isn't it?
Yeah, and it's how we procreate. It's like, you know, we have sex to make children, like human beings. Like, it's so crazy. Like, how can we not be talking about it?
Yeah, yeah.
You know, and it's okay for women. I feel like women are so afraid to ask for what they want and to like demand what they want. And so how are men supposed to know?
Yeah.
You know, men in a way, like in a marriage, just feel like, oh, my poor wife, like she doesn't want to have sex with me. And then they don't feel good about themselves.
No.
You know, by wanting to have sex with my husband all the time, he feels really good.
Of course he does. It's awesome.
He's always like, oh my God, like she always wants to have sex with me. Like I never don't want to have sex with him, ever.
Wow, I really do envy that.
He says no to me more than I say no to him.
Yeah, and how?
And I'm not like a sex addict though. Like I'm not, that sounds kind of crazy to say, but I don't need like a 10 times. I just need it once a day, like a coffee. Do you know what I mean? Like I just...
Once a day?
I could happily have it once a day. 2 times I'm like, I don't have time for that shit, you know. But like
You've been
once a day.
together 11 years.
Yeah.
This is like amazing to me.
But we just fit together, you know, like as emotionally, physically, sexually, like it just works.
Wow. So
And it's
10:30 every night I'm going to picture you.
And we're not like sitting there like, you know, like doing crazy stuff with like he's dressed up as a woman. Like it's not like we don't have to start to get sick and twisted, you know, like we just know what makes each other feel good.
Yeah, right.
You know, and I'm not like some crazy person who like has all these demons, you know. I just think it's nice.
It is.
And
It's
so
super
healthy.
nice.
And the serotonin that you get from orgasm is so healthy. It helps your health, helps your fitness, helps your happiness, helps depression, helps your sleep.
Yeah.
It's so good for you.
I do. I really do envy that. Because after a long
But are you
time
having sex for like
together,
a full
it does.
hour?
Oh, no, I'm not interested in
Oh,
that.
no,
at
I don't
all.
want to. I'm just like, no.
No. But also, sometimes you get to a point where you're like, there's no love making. I don't want to make love. Like, let's just do
No.
this and get, let's just both serve a purpose here.
Yeah, and I like that too, but it's actually very hard to like actually have sex and look at someone's eyes. You feel very vulnerable.
Yes.
And that's something that we all need to work on.
Yeah, yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Because like you don't look at each other, you don't kiss each other, you're just like doing it, you know? Whereas like, I remember recently looking at him in the eye the full time, and I just started crying. I was like, holy fuck, like, oh my God, like we can make humans together. Like we know each other so well. I know your faults and your failures. You know my faults and my failures. But it's scary to do that kind of stuff. It's very scary to feel vulnerable.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know? So, but it's so important. I think that we need to continue the conversation and talk about it. And one of the blog posts I wrote in Bottle and Heels was also, we're allowed to feel sexy and be a mother. Like we don't dry up the minute we give birth. And I think men feel that way. They feel like their wife has kind of taken on a new role now. So, and they don't feel sexy about themselves. So how can a male feel like they want to do that with someone who doesn't feel sexy about themselves?
Yeah, no, it is. It's so true.
Yeah.
And things do, because you're changing your own body and the way you feel.
Oh yeah,
after
and my
you have a
body's
baby
totally
too.
different now.
Yeah.
But if you don't love it, you're gonna spend the rest of your life hating it. So what's the choice?
Yeah, yeah.
You see your stretch marks and you go, I can spend the rest of my life looking at my body and hating it. The funny thing is women look in the mirror and they go to the first thing that they hate.
Yeah.
And men look in the mirror and they go to the first thing that they love.
So true, isn't it?
But that's like scientific. Like men always look at their muscles. They go, oh, I look good today. Women always go to what they don't like about themselves.
Yeah, God, it'd be so... I do it. This morning in the mirror, I was like, oh. And I was just like, God, this is so exhausting still. 36, 2 babies, and my body's awesome, but I don't look at it and go, fuck yeah.
But if you start saying it, you'll start feeling it.
Yeah.
If you look in the mirror and you go, holy crap, I made 2 amazing people, and you say that every day, then your body will be like, yeah, I made 2 amazing people.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And what is perfection? Like, it's so boring. I find people talking about their outside stuff so boring.
Yeah, it's so boring.
Like hair and makeup and age and Botox. I just find it so mind-numbing.
Yeah.
And I have some friends that just talk about like their outside, and I'm just like, I just want to cut off from the conversation.
Yeah, no, fair enough. It is.
I'm just like
boring.
I mean, beauty is something we have to deal with, and I get it, but it's just like, if that's all we talk about.
Yeah.
I mean, like, we're not using being a human, like we're the smartest species in the world. Like, we should be talking about other stuff.
Yeah.
You know?
Yes, exactly. Speaking about other stuff, let's talk about engorged vaginas. Yes. Back to sex. The best sex of your life was when you were pregnant.
Oh God, yeah.
Just...
I mean, I would like rub up against like a chair and be like, oh God, oopsie. Vibration in the car. I'm like, there we go again. No. I was so much hormones that it was almost painful.
Wow, because it
the
was so
orgasms
amazing.
Was so intense that it was almost painful.
Far out.
Yeah, like it would hurt afterwards.
Yeah, wow.
And not from the sex part, just from the orgasm part.
Holy moly.
Yeah.
I was so engorged, I had like balls. I was like to Sam, I'd go, look at this. It was pretty intense.
But how amazing for them.
To have sex with balls, big balls.
Yeah. I mean, were you saying to him, I feel sexy?
No, because I didn't. I felt very beautiful when I was pregnant.
Yeah.
I felt very comfortable in my body, but I didn't feel sexy.
Yeah.
I missed out on that part.
Do you think that men would want to have, like, do you think your husband would want to have sex with you if you didn't want to. Do you see what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
that's
exactly.
probably why you missed out.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, where I was like, nah, shop's closed. When I started to get quite big, I was like, see you in 6 months, mate.
Yeah.
That is done. So I missed out on the...
No, we had it right until I gave birth, and then, because I had a C-section, we probably, like 10 days after I had the C-section.
Far out, mate. You are a demon.
But again, I'm not like thinking about sex. I actually don't think about sex until we have sex.
Yeah, right.
Does that make sense? Like,
yes.
not thinking about it, and then I'm like, oh, that would be nice. Like, it's kind of that.
Yeah, yeah.
You know? I'm not like all day going, when do we have sex? Oh my God, I'm counting down.
No, because you just know it's coming. Yeah. It's around the corner.
It's like, yeah, it'll be another time.
You guys live together, you've got a baby together, and you work together as well.
Yes.
How do you make that
It's not always great, you know? Like, I mean, our relationship's great, but sometimes we get very heated about creative stuff, and we have to be careful to do that in front of Phoenix, you know? Because, you know, we don't want to fight in front of her. I mean, sometimes it's healthy, but not all the time. But we do really well together. We respect each other's decisions, and we're both really creative, and we're both better at certain things.
Right, yeah.
He's really about storytelling. I'm very about visual.
Right.
So the two of us really work well together, and we're a really good team like that. And I think the reason we started a production company is because we were both frustrated with the opportunities we were getting.
Right.
Getting.
There's the Aussie accent in there.
And we just felt, for me, I could be in this sort of teen box for the rest of my life, or I could actually try to break out. But the only way to do that, because you get typecast a lot, is to create it for yourself.
Yeah, right.
So that's what we decided to do. And it's funny because people say, you know, I can't get a job. I'm like, then why aren't you doing something about it? Like, why aren't you getting on stage or creating a YouTube show? There's so many opportunities and outlets now to create.
Yeah.
It's like, why aren't you doing your own podcast? Like, why aren't you writing for like, do something.
Yes.
Instead of wait for other people to give you the answers, people who don't have the answers. We're waiting for all these answers for people who don't have answers.
Yes, yeah.
Which is like...
Exactly, yeah.
I find it nuts.
You know, and which is why I also started this side as well, where I was like, I don't want somebody else to have complete control over yes or no in my career. Like, let's just...
And that's when people start to, like, they start to take notice of you, is when you're doing things against the grain.
Yeah,
because all the fish always swim up the same way. And you don't notice that fit. Like, you just want to be part of the pack. It's like, life is too amazing to be part of the pack.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, you have to create it for yourself. So it's good for you to do this.
And so with the projects that you've done together, what's been your most, and you're out here now, you've just finished
2 weeks
filming.
Ago. It's crazy.
And also you're doing a project with Taylor Swift's brother.
Yes.
What's he like? Is he
He's
awesome?
amazing. His family, her, and were very supportive of him doing the film. So Aussie Girl was one of my favorite ones, which is our TV show that we did together, because we got to co-direct it. It's very loosely based on my life. We've taken a lot of artistic liberties, but it's very funny.
It is funny.
And I love the comedy space. So for me, it was just a really joyous environment.
Right.
But the movie was harder because it was like 42 degrees Celsius every day. We had a lot to contend with. We had actors, like very successful actors, and, you know, animals and kids and sharks, and like, it was just, you know, for a low budget film, is hard to pull off.
Yeah, right.
But we did, but it was stressful.
And so what's your immediate future is looking like what?
I would like to really I would like to start directing.
Yeah, right.
And I would like to put a lot of effort into that coming up. I'd like to do my first feature being pregnant. I did a few shorts being pregnant.
Right.
And I felt very powerful.
Yeah, isn't that amazing?
Yeah. I'd like to put a lot of focus into that for the next year. Continually producing out projects, hopefully a second season of Aussie Girl.
Yeah.
Get back to the blog, Bottle and Heels. I have a clothing line, Stella Phoenix, which we're on our second collection.
I don't know how you have time to do anything. All fun
and you know
projects,
what's so sad? It's so sad because I actually don't think I'm doing enough.
Yeah, right.
And that's a perfectionist thing. That's like when I'm like, oh, I could be, you know, yesterday we had 30 interviews, and I was like, oh, we can fit a few more in. And it's just unhealthy.
Yeah,
It's unhealthy to think that that's not, and then we flew to Melbourne, and I was like, oh, that's not even that bad.
Right. Do you think it's like
it's training? I'm probably, but I'm also
like...
probably trained to do it. So it's like I'm trained to just keep going.
Yeah, right.
You know.
Do you also feel that a part of you goes, this is going to end at some point, so let's do it all now?
I was so afraid of that, but because we're taking control of our life, I feel so much less scared.
Right.
Because we can always figure it out. We always have, and the secret that I would tell myself from a very young age is it's always okay.
Yeah.
Even the bad stuff is always okay. Even the loss, when you lose someone or you have a divorce, or you always get through it.
You do, yeah, at the time.
At the time you don't feel like you are, but you always get through it.
Yeah, and you get through it in a better way too. You come out, you're like, if I get through this, I'm going to be a better person.
There's this great book called You Were Badass. It's not sponsored or anything, but it's my favorite book. And she just talks about every single thing that happens to you can be a positive or a negative.
Right.
So you miss the plane and you're like, oh my God, I missed the plane. But then you could think like, well, it's found time. It's found time to call my daughter. Yeah. It's just like everything that we do is a negative or a positive, and it's up to us to choose what that is.
I know. I try and do that in the traffic when the traffic's shit.
It's found time.
I know.
Listen to a podcast,
Before you were talking about how your husband's really antisocial.
Yeah.
And I am too. And how
I'm
you
antisocial too.
That's bad when there's both of you. My partner's not. He's like, can we go out? And I'm like, as if.
I'm really antisocial, but when we go out, I'm like the biggest duck in the puddle.
Are you?
Yes.
Really? You're
when
the
I'm
party.
there, but it takes me a while to get into it.
Right.
Yeah.
Because I'm like 6 max. If there's more than 6 people, I feel uncomfortable. I'm
Yeah.
like, oh, no.
Our wedding was 25, 30 people.
Was it?
Yeah.
Oh, that's nice.
I couldn't possibly have more than that.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
And so what is your social life like over there?
Unfortunately, not much right now, because I would rather spend time working, being with my husband, finding my own inner peace, or being with my daughter.
Yeah.
But I would like to definitely spend more time doing that.
Yeah.
Just being more social. I think friends are important, and I think it gives us like a compass to sort of find our own selves. So and I'm also, I want to make new friends as well. Not leave my old friends, but I think it's good to open yourself up for new people and new people in your life. And
totally. It's
like
funny, isn't it? When you have kids too, I was like, I've got no more room for friends. I'm done.
It's just you don't find the time,
Yeah.
So,
but then from like your little girl, Phoenix, is at preschool.
Yeah.
So what about the mums there?
We have a great school that's very artsy fartsy.
Right.
Like we have a family that has 2 dads and stuff like that, and it's from all different monetary sort of. So some people have a lot of money, some people don't have any.
Right.
So it's very open, and different ethnicities and religions and everything. So I think it's really good for her, and the people are pretty extraordinary.
Oh, good.
So it's really nice that we were accepted. I don't know why they chose us.
Yeah. So they have to. Do you have to go on audition?
Oh yeah.
Far out.
And we only went for this one school because we just thought it was so great, and we got in, thank God.
Wow.
But a lot of famous people go to the school too, and it's just a little surreal.
Do you think that helps though, having other people that, because everyone would pretty much be in the business there,
yeah.
right?
I mean, in some form or another. Yeah.
Because it would, if you're here and you're famous and your kids go to a school, it's like, oh my God, so and so's.
Yeah, I think Adele was going to go to our school, and I was freaking.
Who was?
Adele.
Oh, really?
And I was losing my marbles, but I don't think she's But I was like, oh my God.
Mate,
I was just going to be like,
with Adele.
Yeah. It's me. Tammin. Yeah. I mean, she's amazing.
Every woman we have on the couch brings a show and tell. You forgot yours, but you're going to do
They didn't even tell me.
I know.
I feel so bad.
Mongrels.
Okay, so you want this one?
Your push present.
Yes.
You got one.
Yes, that was my push present.
Wow.
I think it's a pretty good push present.
I think I'm holding it up the wrong way. No,
it's probably not.
The right way.
And I never keep the time on it.
Oh, dude.
I just don't even look at it.
Oh, that's
But I feel like it's so
awesome.
sentimental,
It
and I
is
just
very
I wanted
beautiful.
bling because I just don't ever have bling.
Right.
And I just wanted one nice thing.
Yes.
Like I don't have a lot of jewelry. I'm not like very ostentatious. Like I don't like to do that.
Right.
So I just wanted one nice piece.
But this is the push. This was the push present. And also, seriously, like...
I wonder what I get for a second one.
Oh, yeah. That'd be something great too. That is so beautiful. But considering what you went through to get this...
I feel like it's
wearing
like
a nappy for 2 weeks.
I know.
You deserve this.
I deserve this so much. And I just think it's unfair that we have sex and then I give birth.
Yeah.
You think that's
Why don't
unfair?
They should push it out there.
Sean's like, that's why God's not a woman. And I'm like, yeah, true. Yeah, exactly. I was like, a woman would never do that unless she was just having a bad day.
I know, seriously, there's got to be a new design to do this, doesn't there? It's like, let's find a new way of doing this now. Reading Eggs.
Yes.
You're an ambassador.
Yes, Reading Eggs Junior now.
Oh, okay. Tell me all about it.
So it's an online program for kids aged 2 to 4 years old, which teaches kids reading through illustrations and animation and song and dance, and there's like 100 different pop-up books that you can read to your kids and they can read with you, and exercises, and it's just been so amazing for Phoenix. She's actually learning like the early stages of sounds and learning how to read. And for me, I think it's very unrealistic to think that, we're never going to give our kids a screen.
Right.
So for us, we don't give her the phone or anything like that. But on the weekends, we give her, like, she can use the iPad every now and then. And so it's just good to know that it's for education purposes.
Yes.
And not like, just, on apps all the time.
I know it is hard not to resort to the shutting them up sometimes.
I know.
At least you know a little mind's working
exactly,
on something good.
And she's really starting to excel from the program. So I just feel really grateful that they chose me to be part of it, and it's
because they've had some big ambassadors there. Everyone seems to be using them. So how do you get them?
So it's a subscription online. So you subscribe, I think it's about $8 a month, and then you sort of get continuous exercises and activities that sort of that your kids can keep using throughout the month.
Okay,
Yeah.
awesome.
Awesome.